Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Essie Udekbe and this is Serenity with Essie. If you're new to this channel, you're most welcome. And if you've been following for a while, I'm sure you know what we already do here. Serenity with Essie is a platform that encourages a shift in our everyday way of being towards maintaining our physical, mental, and psychological well-being. So I'm sure most of us were already aware or are already aware that part of this month, which was the 7th of this month to the 13th, was Children's Mental Health Week as recognized by the World Health Organization. And the theme for this year is growing together, growing together. So on today's episode of Serenity with Essay, I share my everyday tips and the things I do on a daily basis to support my children's mental wellness. Please be aware that the emphasis on today's episode is not on mental ill health, it's on mental health. The things that I do, which I believe most of us are already doing to support my children's everyday mental wellness. So I will encourage you to sit back and enjoy this video with me. And I'd like to use the opportunity to say that if you are a Christian, it's so important to pray together with your children, to study the Word of God together with your children, and just to teach them basic ethics as well, so that when they are confronted with the wrong choices, they will be able to make the right choice for themselves. But they will not always get it right, but that's okay. Please enjoy this video and then give me your feedback. Let me know the things that you do to support your children's everyday mental well-being. So sit back and enjoy. This is still Serenity with Essie always. See you on the other side. So let's go right in. Number one, what do I do to support my children's mental health? Number one, and ensure that I'm healthy. Yes, because the reality is you cannot serve from a pot that is empty. I look after myself first. Perhaps in about 11 years ago, if you asked me what do you do for your children's mental health, I wouldn't start from myself. But I've learned that for me to be able to support my children mentally, I have to be healthy mentally as well. There are a couple of things I do to look after myself. The list is, it's not exhaustive. I am very mindful of where I go, what I see, what I listen to. And I think if you've been following for a while, you must have heard me mention these things in my previous videos. I am so mindful of my mental well-being. It's so unbelievable. So what do I do to look after my children's mental health? Number one, I look after myself. I keep an eye on myself and I stay tuned with myself. I recognize when I'm wobbling and I do the needful to steady my feet, because it's much easier for me to recognize when I'm wobbling and steady my feet than allow myself to fall to the ground completely, and it becomes nearly impossible to get myself off the ground. Yes, number one, me first. And then number two, what do I do to support my children's mental health? Food. Balanced diet is essential, and you will agree with me that there is a big relationship between physical health and mental health. When children eat the right food, when they eat variety, and eat healthily, you will agree with me that has an impact. That will have an impact on their mental well-being as well. Like I said before, these are just basic things that we're already doing, but I just thought I will talk about them as it relates to me, in the hope that it makes sense to someone out there. Number one is me. Number two, food. Number three, I am learning to listen. I'm learning to listen to them. Please let me just also say that this is not easy. It's not something that comes to me naturally. In the past, I would just sort of put my foot down, my way or no way. But I'm learning to listen. I'm learning to encourage them to speak. I'm learning to, let them realize that their opinion matters as well. But I also realize that, especially with my grown-up kids, I realize that because of their age difference, I don't know if I'm putting that right, but I realize that they are not always forthcoming with conversations. So in order to make them, open up and have an open and honest conversation with me, I had to learn to invest in games. For instance, if I say to them, "Oh, come on, let's talk about," and if they have any issues, and I can see it in their face, for example, and I say to them, "Let's talk about it." Chances are that they will say to me, "But Mom, I don't want to talk about it," or at least I don't want to talk about it now. But I've invested in games. For example, we play a game of life. But if I say to them, let's play a game of life, or they go, "Oh, yes, Mom, I'm up for that." And I realize that once we set that up and we start talking, naturally a conversation just ensued. And that way I'm able to pinpoint what is bothering them, what needs to be addressed, what I need to take a step back on, and just allow them figure things out themselves. So I've mentioned 3 things. I've mentioned my own health, which is number 1. I've mentioned food, healthy, balanced meals for the kids. I've mentioned number 3 is I'm learning to listen to them and to let them know their opinion matters. Number 4, I'm learning to take a step back, because I realize I cannot always save them. I cannot always jump into their situations. I allow them make mistakes, reasonable mistakes if that even makes sense, and allow them to figure things out on their own, because mistakes is part of learning. I'm still learning myself. I don't have everything figured out, so I allow them make reasonable mistakes, and then they learn from their mistakes. So what else do I do to support my children's mental health? I am very mindful of my words. Now, I want to use the opportunity to appeal to my fellow moms from my part of the world. I'm sure you will understand this. I realize that the way we speak to our kids at home does not necessarily have an English interpretation to it. I'm saying this because at least I live in England. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. Because there are instances where I've said something to my kids, and they'll say, "But Mom, what does that mean?" And when I tell them what it means, they'll say to me, "But Mom, that's not what it means in English." So we have to be very careful with our words. We have to be very careful with what we are saying to our kids, why we are saying the things we are saying, because they are listening. They understand everything. Even our non-verbal communication, they understand everything. I'll give you an example. I had the privilege to work with a young child some time ago, and this child said to me, "Miss Udegbe, I don't mind my mom slapping me." I said, "Why do you say that?" She said to me, "Whenever I do something wrong, my mom will always say to me, 'I will give you a dirty slap.'" She said, "Miss Udegbe," that's what she called me, "I don't mind the slap, but why does it have to be dirty?" And I understand that. And I think that's just, I don't know what to say, a difference in speech. That's just the way we communicate, that our children here, which we get birth to here, they don't necessarily understand that manner of communication. So we have to be very careful what we are saying to our children and what we are saying about them. I think I've mentioned 4 things. Number 5, praise. But I'm learning to balance this. When my kids, when they do anything, that is really good, or they have good reports, or they tidy up the house without me telling them, I praise them. I go, "That's my boy, that's my girl, that's really fantastic." And I have nicknames for all my children. If you know me, or if you are familiar with my family and you visit us, if you hear me calling my children's names, you would wonder what that is about. I call them baby boo, baby bum-bums, and they'll say to me, "But Mom, I'm not a baby." But you can literally see the smile on their faces when I say that. So it's interesting, it's nice to have that friendly nature with our children without necessarily being over friendly. I don't know if that even makes sense. Again, I'm only sharing my experiences in the hope that someone learns a thing or 2. So I've mentioned 5 things. I've talked about praise, and I've talked about food. I've talked about my own mental health. I've talked about learning to take a step back and allowing them to figure things out by themselves. And I create a platform for them that allows them to recognize and believe that they are truly loved. They are truly loved, because charity has to begin from home. When a child recognizes that, oh, my mom loves me, my dad loves me, it boosts their confidence. It boosts their confidence. What else? What else? Ooh, like I said before, it's quite simple. It's quite, straightforward tips or straightforward points. Some of the things I do to support my children's mental well-being. And I want to use opportunity to shout out to all parents and to all moms. We are doing fantastic. Regardless of how you choose to support your children's mental well-being, always remember that you are priority as well. Do not forget yourself in the process, because healthy tree bears healthy fruit. And I hope I'm making sense. Again, this is a very quick one just to highlight some of the things I do to support my children's mental well-being. Look after myself. I provide healthy, balanced meals for them. I take a step back and allow them to figure things out by themselves. Sometimes I praise them when necessary whilst maintaining a balance. And I'm really mindful of my language, be it physical language, and even with my non-verbal communication. I am very mindful of what I say and how I say it. But please, let me quickly add this. It is not a walk in the park. I am learning as I go, and it will be really interesting to hear what you think. What do you do? How do you support your children's everyday mental health? It doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. Just what do you do with them, to reassure them that they are loved, that they are supported, that you see them, and that you hear them. And I think when we do these things, which you're already doing, it goes a long way in impacting their confidence and supporting them to build healthy interpersonal relationships. I feel like I'm waffling along, so I'm going to stop here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of your private messages. I really do appreciate them. And most importantly, I am so grateful that someone listens to my message and takes something away from my messages. So I say stop here now. Stop. So I'm gonna stop here. Thank you again for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and share with family and friends, and leave me a message as always. This is Serenity with I say always, with joy in my heart. You take care and God bless you. Bye bye.